Hi guys, in today's video I wanted to tell you the story about how I manifested my boyfriend, my dream partner, in less than, I would say it was like around 2 weeks until I manifested him. And it's one of those stories that when I think about it, it still seems very crazy to me that it took this little time. And I hope that I still have the notebook where, yes, this is the notebook where I wrote everything down. Let me see. I don't know if I did in Spanish or in English. But anyway, I will just translate it, I guess. I hope you can read it. I have been watching manifestation videos, law of attraction videos on how to manifest the guy of your dreams, the girl of your dreams, and how to make that happen. And I tried everything and nothing ever really worked until I realized something. There's this one thing that was missing in all of these videos that really was a game changer for me, which I'm gonna explain at the end. But for starters, what is this list? I saw this list on a friend's Instagram post and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. I feel like in the past, I was not really, I had manifested people before with really specific things that I had written down, but there was always things that were missing. There were always things that I realized I wasn't really specific about this certain thing, and now this thing is bothering me. Why wasn't I specific about this? So I saw this list that my friend did on her Instagram post when she was talking about how she manifested her boyfriend, so I decided to use that example. You get a piece of paper and you divide this person in 5 different things, which is looks, interests, how it feels, personality, and coupley things. And you're gonna want to write a few things on each of them. You don't have to, there's no number, you don't need to do 1 or 3 or 10, you can do as many as you want for each category. When it comes to how it feels, I feel like this category is one that I didn't really focus a lot on before, and I feel like it's really important because, as you know, with law of attraction, when you want to attract something, you want to embody the feeling, because that's going to bring your manifestation closer in a lot less time. So I feel like figuring out how you want the relationship to feel and how you want the time spending with this person to feel, or everything in general, is going to help you tap into that feeling more so that it comes in faster. So for me, it was fun, exciting, effortless, safe, supportive, and never boring, and home. And having all these written down is going to help you be okay, I want to feel this way with my partner, so I'm just going to practice feeling this way by myself, with my friends, with my family, or just by myself. And when it comes to coupley things, things you can do as a couple, I feel like that also kind of ties into how it feels, the fact that we can work together, the fact that we can travel the world together. It also ties in how the relationship feels. So I feel like these two categories could go together really well, and you can use one for the other and the other for one. That probably doesn't make sense in English, but I think you get my point. And here comes the bonus tip. So I feel like I've written a list, maybe not exactly like this. Before, my list used to be very all over the place. I would talk about the looks, the appearance, and random things, but never really focusing on the specific things that I wanted. And I feel like the key that made me manifest this boy in 2 weeks or even less, I think it was a week and a half, I'll tell you the story in a second, was that when I started writing this list in so much detail, and for example, in personality, I wrote optimistic, funny, doesn't take life too seriously, ambitious, kind and caring, thoughtful, likes to take the lead, sexual and passionate, likes to try new things. I realized that with the years, this is the person that I have become. When I used to if I had made this list a long time ago, I was still not this person that I now see on the paper, but now I see it and I'm this is a person that I have turned in. The thing that I'm expecting, the thing that I want is for me to become this best version of myself, which is that's on this paper. And over time, I have been becoming this version. I feel like the day that I just sat down and wrote all of this, I was oh my god, I feel like this is just a reflection of me. And you know, the world technically is a mirror to you. So at the end of the day, you're gonna attract not what you think that you want, but what you are. And if you are this person, you're gonna attract someone who is similar to you. Not exactly the same, because my boyfriend is not the same as me at all. But he reflects a lot of my qualities back to me. Because at the end of the day, a healthy relationship, a good relationship is gonna be a big mirror for you to kind of continue healing, continue knowing yourself, and continue to better yourself. So the thing that I realized is okay, which things of this list am I still working towards getting better at? And I feel like there was something specific of the list, I don't remember what it was because this was a year ago, that I was oh, I still need to work on this. So I continued working on that and I forgot about the list. I just closed it, put it away, and I was I don't really have any rush to meet anyone right now. I've been single for a long time. Which brings me to my next point is like enjoy being with yourself. You have to enjoy your time in solitude, because if you don't enjoy being by yourself, you're just gonna meet someone who's also like afraid to be with themselves, and you're just gonna create a codependent situation. And I feel like one of the things that I was always so terrified of is getting myself into another abusive, narcissistic relationship. I just wanted someone who was healthy, who helped me to become healthier and all of that, because I'm kind of anxiously attached. I've gotten better, but I feel like there's still small parts of like my attachment style there and that I'm still working on. So first thing was like enjoy being by yourself. Enjoy being in solitude, enjoy being with friends, enjoy doing all the things that you want to do with a partner by yourself, and being your own soulmate. Because the moment that you become your own soulmate, you're able to attract someone who doesn't take away from you. You're gonna attract someone who is healthy. And I feel like it took so freaking long for me to attract someone who was as healthy, because I wasn't healthy myself. Like I wanted someone who was healthy, but I wasn't still not completely, because I mean we're always a work in progress, we're never really perfect. So I was like at least as healthy as me. That's one thing. And then another thing that I realized was also that for a long time I had the feeling that I needed to wait until I had healed myself completely before I got into any relationship. So I feel like for a long time I also like kind of pushed people away who tried to date me, because I was like, no, I still need to work on myself. And there's gonna be a day where I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. And when I was writing this, I was like, Ada, you're never gonna be ready. Like, there's not a day where you're like healed. Like, healing trauma and like bettering yourself and all of that is just like an ongoing process throughout your life. So you need to decide that you're ready now. And this person is just gonna help you continue healing, and you're just gonna do the process with them, and as well as you do it with your friends who trigger you, or your parents who trigger you, because your partner is gonna continue triggering all the things that you haven't healed yet, and you can heal them through them or with them. So I feel like one thing was first deciding that I was my own soulmate, that I needed to embody all these things before I could attract someone who was like this. Second, I needed to decide that I was ready to like let someone in and let someone come into my life. And third, I needed to believe that I deserved it, that I deserved to meet someone like that. If you think that, oh my God, I'm not healed enough to be with someone, you're gonna tell yourself like, oh, since I'm not healed enough to be with an amazing man, I don't deserve it, you know? So it's kind of like this deciding that you're ready and also deciding that you deserve it and that this person can come in. And the last one, which is something that took me a bit of time to understand, and I was so close to breaking up with stop seeing the guy that I was seeing, who is now my boyfriend and who I love more than anything in this world, is that the moment you attract someone into your life and you start dating and trying this and that, I'm not saying to just like be content with whatever option comes first because the universe has brought you this option and then you're like, okay, this must be the guy of my dreams. Whenever some kind of problem arises, try to see how that reflects back to you and how that mirrors a quality of you that you need to work on. For example, so I had always thought that I was super emotionally available because like I was an anxious attachment, so I felt like I always was like overgiving and being super caring and thoughtful and this and that for other people. I attracted the guy in question, and this guy, I mean, he's also a Scorpio with a lot of Scorpio placements, which does not help. So he's like a very private person. He would like always want to know things about me, but he would never tell me things about him, and he would take things really, really slow. And as an Aries with an Aries Venus, I am the most impatient person, especially when it comes to matters of love. Like I love bomb. I am, and I know that I shouldn't do that, but I just want to get, it's kind of like I want to accomplish things fast. I want to have a relationship. I want to like I'm always thinking about like the next step instead of just like enjoying the process, you know? Anyway, the thing that I realized was that this guy, by the way that he did things, by the way that he acted, by the way that he took things slowly and just like really wanted to get to know me, like he and I just had dates for like 3 months without ever kissing, without ever sleeping together or anything. And I remember getting so fucking frustrated with him and being like, he doesn't like me, this and that, and all my insecurities started to flare up. And more than once I was like, fuck it, I don't want to talk to him anymore. I think that he's probably seeing other girls, this and that, blah blah blah. I don't know. He's probably like not interested in me enough as much as I am into him. And like all my ego just like started to like become crazy about the situation. And I started to see that he was slightly emotionally unavailable, and I was like, okay, this guy's emotionally unavailable, why do I keep attracting guys like that? But then I let a few more weeks pass. There was like a few days where he took maybe a full day to text me back, and he would text me to like literally everything that I texted and responding to everything. But there was this one week where it just like was so emotional. I was probably on my period too. I was so triggered by everything that I was just like, fuck it, I don't want to know anything. Like, I just want to quit this guy. I'm just going to meet someone else who's like all over me and this and this and that. But then it was like, why don't you just tell him how you feel? Instead of just like pretending that nothing's wrong, just tell him like, look, I would appreciate if you would, like, I don't know, text me a bit more or something like that. And I remember just like then being like, no, I can tell him that, like, we've been just like hanging out for like a month and a half, like that's too soon to just like say something like that. I was like, why? Like, you don't even know this person. Like, this person is literally a stranger to you. Like, you can tell him whatever. And if he decides, like, if he wants to quit because of that, then fine. And I was like, okay. So I told him that. He immediately responded and he was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that you feel this way. I'm gonna try to be more active, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I'm just like, I don't really look at my phone that much. I'm always working, you probably know that, but in case you needed some reassurance, this. And I feel like that was the first time that with a guy that I had met for so little time, I was like, honest communication from the beginning, no playing games, no being like, oh my god, if he's busy for like this many hours, then I'm gonna be busy for this many hours and I'm not gonna respond to him, blah, 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 because that was me before. Because I was also emotionally unavailable before. And this guy and I, we both were and still probably are to an extent emotionally unavailable, but we are kind of like, but the thing is like he reflects my emotional unavailability back to me. So like we both are a little bit, but we both want a relationship and we both want certain things, you know? Because with him, since I decided that I wanted this to be a healthy relationship, I was like, I'm gonna be upfront about everything. Every time something comes out, I'm just gonna tell him and I'm just gonna put in a really good base for a good relationship. And every time I did that, I remember, like, it was usually over text, but I remember crying, I remember feeling so triggered and my body being like, I don't want to do this, like this just feels wrong. Not wrong in a bad way, but in an anxious, wrong way. And all my childhood trauma just being triggered all over again. It's hard for me because I realize that I'm emotionally unavailable, but I need to change that. I want to change that, and not for him, but for me. And even if this relationship doesn't go right, at least I'm going to be better for the next one, you know, by facing all of these fears that I have. And the moment I kind of like did this little thing and was emotionally available and vulnerable with him, it just like opened this thing in him where he just like expressed so much about like how he felt about me. And I was like, kind of like a reward, you know, for being like healthy in that sense. And I was like, wow, this feels amazing. He just mirrored a lot of the issues that I still had, that I said that I wanted a healthy relationship, but I wasn't healthy myself, but I had to force myself to be healthy. And every time I did it, he mirrored healthiness back, and our relationship has been going better and better and better. And I'm sorry because I'm talking a lot about my personal life in that sense, but I feel like it is relevant to this situation, so I hope it makes sense. But yeah, this was the story how I manifested him and how I also stayed in the relationship with him, because that's the thing, you can manifest someone and then the relationship will go to shit if you don't continue this thought process, if that makes sense. So I hope this video was helpful if you're trying to manifest someone and also have a good relationship after. Let me know any other like manifestation videos or whatever that you want in the comments, because I have a lot of ideas for content, but I don't know what you guys want. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!